Back to Trading 360. Time now for our 360 round. For that, let's bring in our panel to dive into Palo Alto Networks and the broader cybersecurity space. We've got Tien, CEO and co-founder of Mattermost, joining us, along with Ahmed Khan, equity analyst technology at Morningstar. Thank you both so much for joining us. Ian, I wanted to start out with your thoughts on, you point out that AI is a growth engine, so in theory that should benefit Palo Alto. But what do you expect to hear as it relates to its earnings call in terms of how it draws upon this for, how it benefits from this?
I think there's three ways. First is about efficiency. So can Palo Alto Networks, through its consolidated approach, its platform approach, bring more AI together to have faster response times to detect things more efficiently? I think the second is the sort of arms race of AI from attackers and defenders. And I think that is really bringing on a new set of urgency around these AI defenses. And the third is really the AI market more broadly. So right now we're talking about information security and the defense using AI to be more efficient. But overall, you actually have to defend the AI systems themselves. So as we do human-machine teaming, as we are getting more productive in our AI lives, what are the new threats that happen, whether it's going to be prompt injection or it's going to be biasing certain models? That is a new frontier of spend that needs to happen for trust and safety in the production AI systems.
Ahmed, I want to know your thoughts. The expectation going into this results consensus looking for $2.5 billion in revenue, for EPS expected to come in at 88 cents a share. I've heard the bar is often high going into results for the cybersecurity sector. What's your thought or your expectation?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. So I think you're absolutely right. I think what makes it also crucial is that it's Palo Alto's fourth quarter earnings. So they're also going to give an outlook for the upcoming fiscal year, which I think investors are going to be more interested in versus the quarterly results. I think when we're looking at the next year and the year after that and the year after that, I think some of the growth levers the company has to execute on are increased vendor consolidation through platformization, but also really showing that, hey, we can actually drive growth in our next generation security business using not only AI, but also drawing more spending on these next generation security products by consolidating more of that cybersecurity footprint over to their products.
Okay, so Ahmed just mentioned the platformization, which I know you're paying attention to, Ian, as well. But you say the bigger question, can Palo Alto become the industry's operating system? That's my question, too, especially as it relates to, look, the stock's underperformance year to date, whether you're comparing it to the S&P 500 or, say, CrowdStrike, which is, others had time to capture market share a year ago, and they didn't take advantage of that problem that CrowdStrike has. So can Palo Alto fill a hole or take market share?
I think it has the opportunity with the CyberArk acquisition, understanding that they have a competitive advantage, building out a competitive advantage in identity, which is becoming the new perimeter. So how they take these assets, they have been acquisitive in the past. They've got amazing brand recognition with Unit 42. They've got a number of really powerful assets plus a consolidated platform. And it's really about how do they bring those together and execute in that OS strategy more effectively than the competitors and more quickly.
Okay, and Ahmed, I'm curious to know your thoughts on that as well.
No, I completely agree. I think the CyberArk acquisition, so our read on the acquisition was that we thought that the company was overpaying, although we thought the market's subsequent reaction to the deal was overly punitive. But it's undeniable that identity is going to be incredibly important, especially as we think about agentic AI and agents roaming around doing things for humans that, securing those agentic identities becomes incredibly important as well. So I think the company is Palo Alto has historically done a good job of skating to where the puck is going to be, not to where the puck is. And I think this acquisition is another sort of demonstration of that. But it all will come down to how the company is able to execute against this strategy.
Okay, all right. Ian, I'll give the floor to you for a quick 30-second final thought as it relates to Palo Alto. And you talk about the immediate challenge being the rise of AI-driven attacks.
Yeah, there's a Absolutely. There's a new trend that's coming in terms of spend. So you got AI-driven attacks. You have a material increase in NATO spending, right? That's the big news that's happening right now. And as you spend on defense, you're going to have to spend on cybersecurity. These are critical. The attack surface of critical infrastructure is massively expanding. People are moving drones and digital systems. You're going to have to spend. There's also quantum. There's also sort of the AI arms race. And in this, when you think about CyberArk, yes, there was sort of a discount in how the market thought about that CyberArk investment, but I reverse it and say, how do you think about that acquisition as a discount to the future of where the entire the Palo Alto networks can go versus sort of looking at the past and trying to put historicals together? I think if you're going to be having a long-term outlook on this investment, it's really what is that full picture and what is the discount today versus where it can be.
All right. Thank you so much. That's Tien from Mattermost and Ahmed Khan from Morningstar. Thank you both.